Nobody warns you about the loneliest part of healing. You think healing will bring more people into your life. You imagine this vibrant, supportive community rallying around your newfound growth. But often it does the exact opposite. The moment you stop accepting less than you deserve, certain people begin disappearing from your life, and it's not an accident. In fact, if nobody has left your life since you've changed, you may not have healed as much as you think. Healing doesn't just change how you feel, it changes who can access you. Today, we are going to look at exactly who these people are. And pay close attention, because the sixth person on this list is usually the one people spend years trying to keep, even though they're the reason healing took so long in the first place. By the end of this video, you will recognize exactly who you're outgrowing. And you'll realize that losing them is actually evidence of your incredible progress. Healing isn't becoming someone new, it's returning to who you were before the world convinced you to settle. Person 1. The Constant Critic. Have you ever shared a piece of good news only to be met with immediate skepticism? The Constant Critic is the person who thrived when you doubted yourself. When you were insecure, they felt secure. But the moment you start growing, their behavior changes. Suddenly, every achievement is subtly minimized. Every new decision is questioned. They might say things like, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Or, "I just don't want you to get your hopes up." It sounds like concern, but psychologically, it's a disguise for their own projection. Insecure people often dislike confident versions of others because it forces them to look at their own lack of progress. If you finally start that business, go to therapy, or simply start setting boundaries, they will naturally become distant. They don't know how to relate to a version of you that doesn't need their validation. But critics are easy to spot. The next person is far more dangerous because they pretend to love you. Person 2. The person who needs you broken. Some relationships are fundamentally built on an imbalance of power. This person felt important precisely because you were struggling. Maybe they were the fixer in your dynamic. They loved giving you advice, rescuing you from your bad decisions, and playing the hero. But what happens when you no longer need saving? Healing removes their primary role in your life. The psychology of dependency in relationships shows us that some people bond through trauma and crisis. They miss the version of you that was helpless. Think about that friend who constantly gives you advice when you're going through a tough time, but mysteriously disappears or becomes dismissive when your life is actually going well. They didn't love you. They loved being needed by you. And then there's someone almost everyone keeps around far too long. Person 3. The boundary violator. Before you started healing, you probably bent over backward to accommodate everyone else. Healing, however, teaches you a vital psychological concept, knowing exactly where you end and where others begin. The boundary violator is the person who feels entitled to your energy. They are used to borrowing your time without asking, completely ignoring your no, and expecting instant, unfiltered access to you at all hours. They are the ones calling you late at night to vent, or guilt-tripping you when you finally decide to prioritize your own rest over their convenience. When you start valuing your own space, they will push back hard. They will try to make you feel guilty for simply taking care of yourself. The moment you stop explaining your boundaries, these people call you cold. Person 4. The chaos addict. Have you ever noticed how some people mistake peace for boredom? The chaos addict is the person who thrives on constant drama. Their life is an endless loop of gossip, manufactured conflicts, and extreme emotional highs and lows. Before you healed, you might have gotten swept up in their turbulence. But as you do the inner work, your nervous system begins to regulate. You start craving stability. Suddenly, listening to them complain about the same manufactured crisis for the 5th time feels exhausting. When you stop feeding into their drama, they will naturally drift away, claiming that you've become boring or distant. Healing teaches you something uncomfortable. Not everyone wants peace. Some people only feel alive in chaos. If you've recognized several people on this list already, take a deep breath. Don't panic. You aren't doing anything wrong. Healing isn't losing people. It's losing patterns wearing familiar faces. You are simply making room for healthier connections. Person 5. The version of you hidden inside other people. This one is tricky because sometimes what disappears isn't a person at all. It's who you become when you are around them. Have you ever noticed that you act completely different depending on who is in the room? With certain people, you might find yourself shrinking, walking on eggshells, or pretending to be less intelligent or less capable just to fit in. You adopt their cynical mindset or hide your true interests to avoid being mocked. As you heal, you can no longer sustain this performance. You realize that you're quieter, less confident, and more anxious around specific friends or family members. When you stop putting on the mask to make them comfortable, the relationship naturally dissolves. Healing introduces you to strangers you've known your entire life. Person 6. The one you keep trying to save. This is the emotional center of your healing journey, and often the hardest person to let go of. For years, you might have confused love with responsibility. You deeply believed that your patience, your unconditional love, and your endless sacrifices could eventually heal them. Whether it's a toxic partner, a struggling friend, or a deeply wounded family member, you stayed because you saw their potential. But healing teaches you a very harsh, necessary truth. People only change when they choose to, not when you want them to. You cannot do the emotional work for them. As you become healthier, the contrast between your growth and their refusal to change becomes impossible to ignore. You stop enabling them, and when you stop over-functioning for them, the connection breaks. It is heartbreaking, but it is necessary. You can hold someone's hand, but you cannot walk their path for them. Person 7. The manipulator who calls your healing selfish. This is the final and strongest reveal. When you finally stand your ground, this person will look at you with disdain and say, "You've changed." They will tell you that you think you're better than everyone now, or that you're not the sweet, accommodating person you used to be. Psychologically, manipulators benefit heavily from the old, unhealed version of you. They relied on your lack of boundaries to get their way. Your healing actively threatens their unhealthy systems of control. So they use the word selfish as a weapon to drag you back down to their level. Don't let them. Choosing your mental health over their comfort is not selfish. It is self-preservation. The people who benefited from your silence will always complain when you find your voice. Ultimately, healing is not a popularity contest. Personal growth naturally creates incompatibility, and that is okay. Losing people isn't always a tragedy. Sometimes it is the universe's way of protecting your new chapter. Not everyone is meant to meet the healed version of you. Some people were simply chapters in your story, not destinations. They were lessons you needed to learn so you could figure out exactly what you deserve. The more you heal, the less you tolerate. And one day, you'll look around your peaceful, quiet life and you'll realize something profound. The people who disappeared didn't leave because you changed. They left because you finally did. Tell me, which of these people disappeared from your life first? Let us know in the comments below. And if this video found you at the right time, remember this: healing doesn't always feel like becoming. Sometimes it feels like letting go.